Wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. Got tired of packing and unpacking, round and round, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me just maybe think of me once in a while. I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati. Come for the candidates, stay for the minimally talented Ayana Fakir. Hello, Dr. Bryant.
Hi.
Hi, wait a minute.
Hear
Is it
me?
me this time? It's always me. My volume is always turned down.
Oh, and then I think I also don't talk as loud as I probably used to.
Well, if I can't hear you, I will let you know.
Okay.
I am not shy. I'm not shy at all.
Well, this thing is like showing my ring light, my glasses.
Okay, Dr. Bryant, have you shared this with your followers? Do they
Yes,
know that you
I've been
are
in here
here?
sharing. Yeah, I've been here.
Okay.
Yep, I came right in sharing. I was ready.
I love a prepared, ready to go candidate. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to hit this like on this, run these likes up.
Okay.
For the people entering the room, we are speaking with Dr. Jaketra, right?
Yes.
Dr. Jaketra Bryant, who is the candidate for Columbus, Georgia mayor.
Yes.
That is Columbus, Georgia, United States. Okay?
Yeah.
She wants to be the mayor. She wants to be the mayor.
Running
Hey,
to win.
do you know my friend Bianca Motley Broom?
Nuh-uh.
No, she's mayor of College Park.
Oh no. Yeah.
She's mayor of College Park.
They I think did they just what's her last name? You said
Motley Broom.
I've been getting in touch with a lot of mayors from the outside because that's been helping me really ally a lot, but I have not reached out to her.
Okay, you
Because I
might
try to
tell
reach
her.
out to all the women.
Yes, Black woman, tell her that Ayana Fakir, who she has known since the year 2002,
Yeah,
sent you.
I sure will. Look, I was telling my friend the other day, I said, I be reaching out to these mayors like we're buddies, like we're just best friends. I'd be like, hey.
Yeah, well, she's very friendly. I
Yeah.
love her. I really do.
I used to
I
live in
love her.
College Park, but like when I
Oh,
lived
okay.
there, but when I lived there, it wasn't a city because they like branched themselves off a lot, and so it
Yeah.
was still like Atlanta. But my house that I still own is College Park, and so
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
yeah, tell her all those things and tell her you are running for mayor in Columbus, and she'll be like, "Oh my God, I have all these resources for you." Oh,
I
bippity
know I'll
bippity
be
boo.
taking them.
Oh, bippity bippity boo.
That's so good.
I
Yes,
love
I
her.
sure will.
I love her. So, everyone, welcome in. We've got 4 people. People, if you are in here, please share this out. I realize it is a Friday night, and you all are probably, what are people doing tonight? Watching some NBA? Is the NCAA still going on? I
I
have no idea.
I don't
Are you
know.
guys at a Jay-Z concert?
My life has been so abnormal lately. I don't even know what's happening in I've missed all the seasons.
You've got that I'm running for office look. I mean, it has a look. It looks like you don't sleep well or often.
That is so accurate.
Like you talk to so many people, you can't even remember. Who can't remember
Yeah.
who you talked to when you talked to them, but you remember talking to them, and you've knocked on doors, and you've done phone calls, and you've shaken hands,
Yeah.
shaken hands,
That's it. That's it right there.
and
That's exactly.
you've been to assemblies and halls and town halls and big halls and small halls and libraries, and you want a break. But
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
what? Mm-mm, you're not going to get it.
Right.
As the Jan Levan Zant said.
Listen, I was like, I'm gonna win this, and then I was like, send me on the vacation for the summer.
Oh,
I was like, no
yes.
runoff.
Yes.
Let me win
Oh,
this. Let me just win it stress free.
yes. Just
So good.
win the primary and then take like a week off. Can you take a week off after you win the
Well,
primary? Is
ours
that
is
gonna,
really
is your name gonna
non-traditional.
like,
Ours is, well, typically it's about a 2 month like delay when they go in office, but ours is really wonky. So I couldn't, I had to do some research to figure out when ours actually takes office, but it's like January. So it's like a big delay. So I'm hoping that's not the truth. I'm gonna do some more research to try to find it because they would tear this town up. And so I'm hoping I'm like, yeah, just 2 months is fine for me because they will tear this city up.
yes. Okay, then let's get to it. Tonight we are speaking with Dr. Jaketra Bryant, who is running for mayor of Columbus, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not in Georgia, you can still come in and ask questions because you know what? Municipal law is really kind of the same across the states. I
Mhm.
mean, I know it's different for big cities, small cities, but that municipal law, you want to ask people what they're going to do for these cities. Because what happens in the cities affects the counties, and then that affects the state, and that affects the whole country. Don't we know it? We're seeing a pretty contentious race in a certain part of your state to fill a certain seat vacated by a certain ghost. I believe her name is Marie, Mallory, Marjorie. That's
So,
what it is.
yeah, she's interesting. Yeah, yeah.
So we are Our Vote Counts. My name is Ayana Fakir and I am in Ohio. Our Vote
Oh,
Counts, yes. Our Vote Counts is a nonpartisan coalition of citizens from diverse states and backgrounds united by a shared commitment to empowering voters and promoting candidates who stand for integrity, inclusion, and accountability in the upcoming elections. Our Vote Counts is more than a name. It is a promise, a movement, and a rallying cry for democracy. Together, we are shaping the future one informed vote at a time. And as I will state again, tonight we are speaking with Dr. Jaketra Bryant, who is running for mayor of College Park, Georgia. She is a mother, a wife, an artist, a therapist, a truth teller, and a born leader, according to my research. But I can tell from talking to you just these few minutes.
yeah.
Uh,
Aw.
she's the youngest of 5 children, born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama, and also is a community advocate, a therapist, and a proven leader committed to serving people first. Dr. Bryant earned her undergraduate degree in psychology, a master's degree in community counseling, and a PhD in leadership.
Yes.
And she's kind of got a famous mother. Your mother was one of the children arrested at just 13 years old during the historic Birmingham marches. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, our family's like,
Wow.
yeah, that Birmingham history part is like, I think that's like that the activist in me.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah. So, Dr. Bryant, please, before we dive into the questions and the background of the city and all that, tell us a little bit more about you and why you are running for mayor.
Yeah. So some more about me is on the other personal path, professional side. So I'm a mom of a teenager. So he's actually in his senior year. So I am literally juggling
Me
senior
too. I have an
year.
18-year-old and a 21-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So like I need all the advice, support, all of it, because I'm trying my best to make sure his senior year stays as normal as possible, as normal as it can get. Given
Keep
that
your
we,
gas tank full and your wallet empty.
yeah, right.
Or is it your wallet full and your gas tank? I don't know.
Yep, because
Whatever.
I've told that's very true because I've told him we're on a budget a bunch of times. I was like, I'm on a campaign budget, and that don't.
Have you told him how much it costs to do this?
I have
Just to
not, but
run for
I
office.
was like, I'm on a campaign budget. That is not, nothing's happening when I say that. Nothing.
Listen, when he goes to prom in a pair of sneakers and some blue jeans, then he'll know.
Right.
He'll know.
I was like, kid. Yes.
Does he work?
Yeah. No, he does not work. He's in a fine arts program and so his school is a magnet school and they have like
Okay.
whole capstones and like all kind of stuff. Like they act like they're a mini
Oh, he
college. And so
fancy.
yeah, so he's an
Okay.
art major at the fine arts school. And so and then all the classes are like either AP or honors. And so like he homework is what he does for work.
Wow. So his eyes are on the school prize. I got it. I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah.
Well, Mom, you might have to check them couch cushions or check for the unclaimed funds. Right to the
Listen,
unclaimed funds, people.
listen. I
But
was like,
please
yeah,
continue. Tell us about
please.
yourself and why you're running for
But yeah,
office.
yeah. So he is a portion of why I'm running. Like I've been in Columbus, Georgia, like 7 years. And when I first moved here, I was like, yes, like we love Columbus. Like we moving from Atlanta. Like if you've ever been to Atlanta, Atlanta is so huge, but
Yeah.
it's traffic, it's lots to do, it's lots to eat, but you don't run into the same people over and over unless you plan to just like hang out and meet. And so I was like when we first moved here, we literally saw people twice. And so we were just like, wait, what is this? We were
You
just
were like, oh, this is quaint. We
yeah.
like quaint.
Like we just saw people twice. Like we're just like kind of like that. And so it was like this like community type feel. And so like we actually really, really enjoyed that. And so like that was something that felt like really connected and home because I was in Atlanta driving to all the different sides of towns just to get the diversity. Like he was in swim school in Douglasville. We were at church like way in Fayetteville. I worked downtown. We lived in College Park. I mean, we literally were all over like just to get like the diversity that was in like the city. And then when we
Mm-hmm.
came here, I was like, oh, okay, they have diversity and you just got to go around the corner or you're here, just go out and get coffee. And so that was something I fell in love with. And that was like year one. As the years have gone up, oh my goodness, we're just watching the city like literally like just lose hope and
Yeah.
just like just fade. Crime
Yeah.
has increased so much, and then the people that are committing the crime, the age range is getting lower and lower and lower. When we first
Yeah.
moved here, like we've heard of like the first 48. That was all in Birmingham, and they had it in like certain parts of Atlanta. It was not here. It probably needs to come here. They haven't been here before.
Well, I
So
heard
like
they finally dropped Tulsa, Oklahoma. So maybe
listen, and I think some of those things be contracts. They'd be like, just leave our city alone, leave our city alone.
yeah.
Don't tell everybody. They're like, don't tell everybody that we're really this bad. Like, so they probably should have came here, but they did not. And it's like it just keeps rising and rising and rising. And literally the age range was getting like just less. Like I mean, they are like as early as 13 years old, and it's being groups of black
Wow.
males and black
Yeah.
women, and when they're not even women, black girls, and like I mean, just the rise of the crime is up, and then I'm just watching the city just lose hope, and I'm watching like if you look around certain sides of town, it is as if you have entered like different areas, like different states, but you're still in Columbus, Georgia. And I was like, this is not okay. This is not right. And so like I knew I wanted to do something in political, but I've always been like this non-traditional type person. I'm supernatural. Like I'm actually nice. And so like this is like
Are
me.
you supernatural or supernatural?
Listen, probably a combo of both.
Probably both.
Yeah. It's always like I was like, I don't match that politician stuff. And so it's like that's like I was like, nope, because I need to be myself up there. And then the more and more we're moving in today's climate, I was like, and I'm not seeing a natural black woman up there. I'm not seeing a woman who like, like it's just the polished look is there. And I was like,
Hmm.
that's not who I am. As a therapist, I know what it looks like to be your authentic self. I know what it looks like to like be very emotionally like stable and stuff. So I'm like, I can tell all the issues like up there. So I was like, this is I don't know. Has a therapist been in politics before? And so I was kind of
Yes.
like, yeah, I was like looking around. So that made me hesitate a little with it. But like the more and more I kept seeing the city, I was like, yeah, like they're about to tear this city down. And so I like stepped in it as this disruptor, this outsider, this person who is not from Columbus, because the people that are all running they're all from Columbus and they run with that as their forefront of their story, but they're really a part of the trauma because like it's really hard to
Right.
like not. it's really hard, like when you're sitting in it and you've been sitting in it for years, to really, really see some solutions that need to like take place and not be biased, or to not
Right.
have been a part of the chaos. And I honestly can say I'm not part of any of the chaos. Like I really am just like a person that's just like, I know how to actually execute policies. I know how to like get organizations and like teams together. I know how to like make sure that we are psychologically and mentally and emotionally together. And I was like, so I took some different courses, not courses, but like different programs like to train women how to run. And I was like, I'm gonna go for mayor and then probably keep going on up higher. So
All right. I
be a little
love
bit more
that.
natural up there too.
Listen, and the more natural, the better. The more people are just themselves, the better. Please, people, don't change who you are just because of where you work. For the love of God.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Georgia. Ooh, Georgia. What's Georgia got? You got the Falcons and what's that basketball team with the
Hawks.
that's the
Yeah, the
Hawks,
Hawks,
right? A lot
yeah,
of bird
the Atlanta
things.
Hawks, the Falcons, the
The Braves and the Georgia
Braves.
Bulldogs and
Hmm.
so if you had to pick one of the traditional Georgia animal things to be the mascot for your campaign, which one would it be? Would you be a bulldog or a hawk or a brave or what's the other thing? What's the other one you said? A falcon?
A falcon. Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Or you could be, what's you could be, it could be an onion, a Vidalia onion.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's very important. Yep. I think I would be. Would I be a hawk? I think I would be a hawk. Like I'm really on this whole thing. Like someone said they like a lot of birds. Like I'm really on this thing. Oh, my son came in here. Then he was like, I guess he's like, listen, mom, we're falcons over here.
Right.
I'm gonna have to let the falcon tie. Like he was like, he came right on in with that one. Okay, okay.
Tell him we said hi.
He said hi. He's going to peek in. You can peek in. It's on live.
Hi. Listen, we have had kids peek in. We've had dogs. We've had cats. We've had spouses. It's okay. It's
Yep.
all right. We love it. We understand that people are, when you're grassroots,
Oh yeah.
the whole family is involved.
Oh yeah.
People ain't got time for your campaign. They're like, what? You're running for what? No, it's dinner time.
Yeah, yeah. And
So,
he comes with me too. Like he came out today because they're on spring break. And so I was like, get dressed. I'm low on numbers with canvassing. Come on.
he's like, my mom's running for mayor. You want to vote for
Yeah.
her?
Yeah, it's like, yep, that's him. He just likes the perks of like if I take everybody out for food, or if I don't know, because he won't keep my wristband on. And so I don't know. And so I have like
So when you explain to him the political landscape, because you're running for an executive level position, but you have to deal with all of the issues that are present in the city. So when you explain that to your son, does his head like start to spin, or are you able to break it down to him? Because I know if you can explain it so that a teenager understands, then you know what you're talking
Oh
about.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, I've won over Gen Zs, and like I'm a millennial myself, but I've won over Gen Zs and millennials. Like I even have student
Okay.
ambassadors that are like in high school. Yeah, I've won them over. Like and because I have been able to break it down, so that's been really good. Like I actually like since he just got his license, and when we were driving, he actually said to me, he was like, "Well, who's supposed to fix this? Like, who's in charge of that?" So, like,
Right.
it actually was very helpful because all of them are brand new drivers. They're like navigating the journey of like maybe tuition for the first time, or room and board, like if they're like college students. And we're a
Yeah.
consolidated government here, so every time like their tuition and room and board for the college students was going up, I was able to break it down and explain to them that that was because they were raising taxes. And that's because they're
Right.
building these like big, huge $1 million, $2 million, $4 million buildings, that it's your taxes. And so they are like looking for jobs because they are trying to keep up. And so I have to help them low. Like that's your leadership. That's your leadership deciding that without you. And so I actually was able to get and mobilize lots of college students to get like really empowered and like want to vote and understand that they were like that they were being affected because they couldn't figure out like how. They said no one ever came over to the campus. And so same with my son, I like was breaking down, like I said, the roads. When we would drive to different areas, he would notice that like there are different sides that were very just like neglected. And he was like, "Are we still
Yeah.
in Columbus?" And I was like, "We are."
Everything you see, someone in government is responsible for it.
Yep.
Someone.
Yep.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that happens with voters is if we elect people, give them our, their pass to represent us in government, and then we just kind of lay back. We
Yep.
trust you. You'll do the right thing. You'll do what we elected you for. And then you're driving around your city and you're like, wait a minute. Didn't they say they were going to fix this? Why isn't it fixed? And
Mm-hmm.
that's because we're not pressing them. We're not appealing to the city councils and the mayors now we have county councils and county executives saying, hey, when you ran for office, you said you were going to make
Yep.
sure by 2026 that we had clean water, and I'm still
Yep.
filtering my water. So
Mm-hmm.
what's
Yep.
going
It's
on?
bad.
But
It's so
yeah,
bad over here. They literally will just like not doing it. Like there's this area like off of St. Mary's and Buena Vista. I've only been in this city 7 years. They apparently been on that same road 8 years. And it's terrible, like just terrible. And that's the one we went over there and he was like, "Are we still in Columbus?" And I mean, like he rightfully so. It's like so neglected. It's ridiculous. And like just no reason. And they'll just tell you like, "Oh, that's splot money. That belongs to this." And like they'll tell you that it's someone else's, that this is the reason. Oh, it ain't been that long. I'm like, you gaslighting the people who actually live over there on the exit. That's weird,
right.
first of all.
For
Amateur.
every municipality, there is a federal, state, and local lever that has to be pulled for every single one. And I'm finding that at some point, all three of those fail. Sometimes at the same time. They're not pulling their lever at the same time. Sometimes it's one, the federal government sends the state the block grants and the state doesn't distribute it the way it's supposed to. Or
Mm-hmm.
it gets to the schools and they're like, oh, you know what? I think we'll just buy some chairs and keyboards
Yep.
and not, invest it where it's supposed to go for the students.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up, it's like year after year, and
Yep.
before you know it,
Yeah. It's that
you've got
leadership.
failing schools.
Yep. And that's what we have right over here in Columbus. We have failing schools.
Yeah.
I literally, all of my initiatives are just on what's happening that they neglected. And then I inputted like some strategic plans based on one of like just cultivating, seeing my son as a STEM kid. There are lots of STEM kids around here. And then like implementing
Good.
farming. And so like I put that in, but I basically was like, wait a minute, y'all been like wasteful with funds and you've been like you're saying, like the money is not making it down here to these classrooms. So why do you still have failing classrooms? And why do you still have failing kids? And why do you still have dropout rate? Like why do you still have this stuff? And you like the funds came down. It's like they didn't go somewhere.
Right. Well, okay, let's get into it. And if you're in the audience and you have a question for Dr. Bryant, feel free to hit the multi-guest or you can leave it in the chat and I will ask her the question for you. Let's get into education. Let me see. Let me
Yes.
scroll down to education. In your first 100 days, you will redirect education-related city funding toward literacy support tools and software, ensuring students and educators have access to evidence-based technology that strengthens reading, comprehension, and digital skills, particularly in classrooms serving historically under-resourced communities. Oh, that was a lot. How will you ensure teachers are trained to effectively use this technology? And how will you measure improvement in reading scores, graduation rates, or other metrics?
Yeah. So one with accountability of the teachers. So that's been like the biggest thing. Like our county, I have seen that there's been some funds that have been like, they're like giving these awards and it's just like, how are you giving awards for our school system is still doing poor? And so luckily, we do have a lot of people up for these seats. And so my hope is like, one, we're about to flip these seats very well, like very soon. And that's including the school board seats. So for people who are actually actively wanting to make sure that this is like happening. And so like there is one particular person who has a PhD in literacy. And I was like, girl, that is perfect. Like has a PhD in literacy. I was like, she could turn this whole county around. And so I think like one, partnering with the people who actually have the particular specialties in these areas that the kids are failing in. Like no more of the like, literally typically the background has been this person has a degree in history or pre-law or something like that. But I think these non-traditional routes and partnering one with people who specialize, like that person maybe had never ran for office before, but a degree in literacy when you have a failing county in literacy is
Doesn't make sense.
yeah. Like I'm like she doesn't even need to run. I just need to put her in. And so like so partner with that one, and then I in my PhD and just in my just research studies period, I do a lot of like looking at the numbers and how is everyone doing. Now our school's really sneaky with like saying everyone's doing fine and having these just measurable like, they're just like, oh, like everyone's doing well, but they're really not. And so one of the things I was looking at that a couple of other states did that was like very successful is they partnered to get their metrics with like the local university. And they had people like from the outside come in, not like this hiring like outside like agency, because that spends a lot of money, but actually people who are maybe getting their teaching degrees and like the actual school that has like the maybe like early education as a degree. And then they are actually, participating in like the measurement of the metrics to make sure that, hey, like we are seeing some numbers here that are like, here's like this particular school, like Martin Luther King Jr. School, and they're like, working with that school. So kind of taking some of like where the person is, what word phrase would it be? Taking some of it away from the actual principal that they're responsible for turning in just these numbers so we can make sure one, they're accurate and the kids are doing well. Because I think sometimes these Title IX incentives do go to the schools when they say they're performing well. That's where they get their funds in. So like really making sure this is happening is going to take an outside person that's neutral or objective that can actually run these numbers for real to get these babies in a better programming. And then there's some that I'll suggest like that are more cultural based. Like we have predominantly Hispanic and Black students, and they need to be more cultural based programming. And so they all take computers home in the public school system. And so implementing a software onto it that can one, show you the proficiency level. So there is no cheating inside there. Like the software comes with it. More professional development training. That's one of the ways I plan on measuring it. Georgia passed something where the teachers that they're asking teachers to have a certification in a reading intervention because the kids are doing so like
poorly. Yeah. I find that even in cities like in the city I live in, where a lot of tax money from the residents is poured into the school system, the disparities still exist, and it's mostly based on income. It's based on income. We have from low income to millionaires living in this city, and it's incredible that we spend so much money per student, but there's still so many students getting left behind. And it's the Black kids and the Hispanic kids. And why is that happening? It doesn't make any sense. No. It's not that they're not talented. It's not that they're not smart, but the schools are just kind of going along, Oh, it'll be fine. They'll catch up. They're not catching up.
Not in reading.
No,
is
not in reading and math. Reading and math. Yeah. Reading
That's one of the hardest subjects to catch up in, because it's like, how are they going to catch up if they miss the phonic sound or if they don't know how to blend together? They cannot. Like my kid, I end up later, some years later, found out he had a language processing disorder. But I had him intensely in tutoring, and like
Hmm.
he was getting diagnosed inaccurately, and I was like, that's not autism, that's not what's going on here. And it was actually language expressive disorder, and which is in the form of linguistics, which is more in the stuttering. And he doesn't stutter, so but he was processing. And so
Right.
now he has a 504. So like it took me literally making sure I stayed on him. I stayed with like the right assessments. I stayed in tutoring. Like I mean, we were making sure just to make sure he stayed with the grades and everything. And then the 504 now allows extra time. It allows like time and a half. It allows like directions to be read a different way to him. And that's what it was. But I'm a mom that literally was like, no, there's something else happening, and I was looking for all the resources.
That's what
And
you
I
have
was
to do. You have to be that staunch advocate for the kids because the school will just let them just kind of coast, slide on through.
yeah,
So what? So what? They get to ninth grade and they can't add 2 plus 2. So what?
terrible.
So what?
Right, terrible. Yeah.
It
Mm-mm.
is. It's terrible. It is. And you know what? Education is tied to economics, right? You have a populace that is well educated. They can obtain jobs, obtain income, high paying jobs. They could even bring those kinds of jobs to your city, but a poorly educated populace can't do that. They can't. They can't. And I don't understand the thinking that goes on with politicians when they keep taking money out of education.
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes no sense.
No,
Makes
it
no
is not.
sense.
Like that that's how like it's literally like a really caveman outdated, like they've lost their humanity. Like they've lost it by
Right.
that point because like how do you not I'm with you. How do you not think that education is like holding all of this together? There is not a day that goes by that some form of like reading or math is not in our day. From like I
Right.
gotta read the sign on the road to I have to like wake up and read the label to ensure that the food quality is there. And then I gotta like calculate maybe something, but there's not a day that somebody's not using some parts of this. And so like to like not think that a person doesn't need the foundation of it is like
That's
yeah,
wackadoodle.
yeah, yeah.
So, how will you partner with schools without overstepping? There is the
Oh,
school board.
press the button,
How do
sir.
you how do you stay in your mayoral lane and still help the school system?
Yeah. So part of it is like we can redirect. We can redirect a lot of the funding with it, like and approve a lot of like budgets and programming. And I think something that I have as an advantage that I've never seen, like never like any of the other people. Because I when I first like was joining in, I was like, are they lacking competency or compassion? Like what's happening here? Like I was like, because if it's a little competency, compassion, we could figure out something. But I was like, what's happening? The reason why nothing's getting executed? Like what's really going on? And I think like one of the advantages I have as a mayor that it is something I've seen like other mayors in other cities do, even though they're not consolidated, is they've really had to like really just hire different teams and they've had to execute different programming themselves. And so that's one of the advantages I have. Like my background is so much in all these different areas that I come from is whenever I'm out talking to people, they're just like, have you thought about being on a school board? Have you thought about being a city manager? Have you thought about being a Congress? Have you thought about being a state representative? Like they will put me in every position. I'm like, I'm glad y'all are seeing that. I'm glad like, cause that is something that is one of my advantages is like, there is like, I really do know all of these like ecosystems. And so one of the things that I do in my profession, in my PhD leadership, is I go out and I go to train like executive, like C-suite, CEOs and senior level, how to actually organize their cities, their companies, their teams and stuff like that. So that ecosystem is my thing. And so just being able to actually like help them to see like help them to actually see like where the gap is and that it is going to be better if we work more cohesively. And it's okay if they don't know how, and I'm not going
Hmm.
to fully execute it for them, but let me get you into the right places and to the right like system so that like these kids aren't failing. And so I think utilizing the fact that my dissertation focus was on the Black male educators in Georgia public school classrooms should be like a huge advantage. like I studied Georgia and their education. And then like, like all of these like moving parts. And so why I always say I'm just not this typical politician. Like I literally am cleaning up.
So, how do you think the current mayor has failed in that regard?
Yeah, none of his commissions are education at all. He hasn't. Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
He was like, I'll let somebody else handle it. You got to get somebody
Yeah.
else to do
And
it.
that's what made me figure out, like, is it competence or compassion? And I was like, I don't think they know how to do it. I don't think they know how to execute it all.
That's possible. That is possible. Yeah, they may not know how to execute it.
And because of their like lack of like competency, it's harmed the entire city. And I think they like just like fattened their pockets, sadly. And they just like sat in, and like one of my opponents is like a former city manager, and he's running now, but he was fired as a city manager, and the city is still in poor condition. And everybody's like, sir, just take your bow out. And I'm just like, I agree.
And see, it'll be those people because they have the name recognition. People go, oh, I recognize that name, because they haven't researched any of the candidates and they're kind of, lazy voters. They'll just go, oh, I'll just vote for that guy.
Yep. Yeah. That's what a lot of them do. That's what a lot of the older ones like are doing. And I have to like go around and be like, ooh, wait, like today, one of my like canvassers, he was like, one guy said that he wanted to make sure there was a Black person that was in office. And my canvasser was like, not my son, because my son, he just be sitting there like, I'm here for the ride. And so like the other canvasser was like, what if you could change the race and the gender of who sits in that seat? And then so he was like, let me come talk to y'all. And so I when I went to the next house, I actually heard them say, wait, she got a degree in leadership. And I was like, right. And so I was like, look, I may have stole their little votes.
They're like, ooh, that might work. That may be what we need.
Right. I was like, because you just picked the other man just because like he was Black, or you just like picked the other man because like maybe he was like older, versus being like, wait, do y'all know if he knows what he's doing?
Yes, good character matters. Competence matters. People, please. Yeah. Please.
Yes, like competence, big time.
So next, Jen Columbus will establish Mayor's Youth Leadership and Policy cohorts, bringing high school juniors, seniors, and college students directly into City Hall to learn policy, government, and civic leadership early, creating real pathways into public service, advocacy, and local decision making. What specific alternatives to gangs or street involvement will Next Gen provide? What role will law enforcement play in these non-enforcement interactions?
Yeah. So I am not a huge fan of over policing. I'm not a huge fan of like mass incarcerations, or just like we're profiling everybody because like they had the same hairstyle and the height, and you're just like, that's it, that's the person. Like I don't like all that stuff. And then at our jails, once you're in there, you're trapped. Like it's they make money per day. Like that's it. They're over here trying to build a new one. And so like I have a whole nother approach that I understand. Like I'm walking around and I see the lack of resources. Like mental health is in a huge crisis. And so like there is no way that we're coming from like literacy issues, neglected neighborhoods and size of towns, overworked teachers, parents who are barely making it. And then you don't have like poverty issue and robbery issues and domestic violence issues. Of course you can have all those issues. Like where else would they go? Like they didn't, they're not getting poured hope in the school. They're not seeing themselves as a reflection of like possibility. Like what else would they be doing? And so I'm not a person that's like, okay, like let's lock them all or let's criminalize the homelessness. I'm like, no, let's actually give them resources. Why don't you pay attention to this side of town? So like the mayor in Baltimore had a beautiful, beautiful program that I like studied, and I was just like, I love that one. We can have that down here. They had just as much crime, drugs, and killings that we have. And they basically started this targeted area where they targeted the small population and collected data to see like who is actually committing these crimes. It's not the entire city, but the entire city feels it. And so they targeted those areas and they actually gave them the resources that they needed, whether that was mental health services, substance abuse intervention, coaching, counselors. They invested in them. They actually later he invested in and I put it in mine too, because I said, it's beautiful. We don't have to invent the wheel. Let's take that one. I love it. He had a 24-hour, I don't think his was 24 hours, but he did a hotline call for youth. And he actually ended up getting like 200 youth during the hot crime season, where you see youth robbing everybody and just in a whole lot from April to August. When you see the crime up, he actually saw a decrease in crime and more youth that called the hotline for support and just to talk. And I was
imagine
like,
that.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
Right.
Imagine that. Listen, that's adults too. Sometimes you really just need somebody to listen to you. You just need to vent. You need somebody. You're not trying to cause trouble. You just want somebody to hear you.
Yes.
Just want somebody to hear you. That's
right.
it.
That can change a person's life. Like
it sure can.
It can change it will change you from like going in that store, robbing somebody, hitting somebody, hitting yourself, a phone call.
Yeah.
A phone call.
I love that. So you've got a housing plan. Let's talk about that. You've mentioned expanding home ownership by increasing down payment assistance and helping renters become homeowners through strong partnerships. How will you ensure this doesn't just benefit higher income renters, but also working class families? What partnerships are you already committed to? No, it says what partnerships are already committed, excuse me. Or will this require new agreements like with banks, nonprofits, and employers?
Yeah, so I actually just like made another combo with that. And it's probably just ain't made it to my website yet, but we're in the like we're very grassroots. My sister's at a volleyball game. She's like, she's like, when I finish at the volleyball game, so we're very grassroots. So like since we're in a consolidated government, you heard me say that like earlier, every time they do overdevelopment in the other side of town, all the other sides, not south, east, west, everyone's taxes are raised. So what's happening actually with our housing is people can't get to a house. And so they can't get to a house because they're constantly like paying landlords or paying moving and just moving. So the poverty line is just
storage fees.
The storage fees.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I saw, I was like, oh, like this is not about like that there's no land over there for the house. This is a couple of gaps. One, the people don't know that there may be a resource because the whole city is like, we have this resource. Why aren't people buying houses? They can't get to the house if they constantly got to pay the application fee over and over. And it's the same type of rental companies. And we have a lot of bad slumlords. And so one of the things that I want to put in place that has a conjunction with the housing is like a confidential portal so that the people that are renters can actually start saying something. I understand like how hard it is to kind of confront your like landlord if you're afraid of eviction. And like, this is all you have, like financially, or you have your kids, or you're just a vulnerable person, maybe an older person on a fixed income or something like that. So I want to establish like a confidential portal so we can get some fines to these bad landlords and they can stop being able to rent inside of Columbus, period. And so we don't need to partner with them. Like we identify them, and I want to give them a strike 1, 2, 3, and it's like you can't rent in this county. And so that actually will help free up a little of their finances and also hold the landlords accountable so those people can have a chance and an opportunity to even know that maybe there is a housing plan that's already in place. Like we have a couple of like block grants that came down, like what you're saying, like that can help with housing, like our community investment plan. A lot of people don't even know about the community investment plans because like they're just trying to survive the house that they're in. not knowing that there's a way out. And so it's about one, helping the resources come over to all the sides of town. So they keep saying that look like you're on a whole nother city. Like bringing the resources over there, bringing some of the offices over there, or them doing more outreach in the community and saying what programs are available to the people based on where they are currently now. And so, and then implementing in the assistance with down payment. So once someone wants to get into a house, and of course, like financial literacy and discipline are already probably courses that
Right.
they need to take that they don't know about, because if you're in survival mode, you are not looking for any of those things because you're in survival mode.
That's right. Yeah.
And so with the taxes, I actually want to put a cap on like the tax property. So that's called a circuit breaker, where it caps at a certain percentage. If they keep on trying to rise these taxes, if you're on a fixed income or if you're on a certain income bracket, or if your home has been here for like over 10 years, you don't have to go up with those people. You can actually stop right there at a certain percentage so that it can allow you to stay in your home and settle and not have to keep paying these taxes and getting in the hole while they're over here just trying to build something that's like a $5 million building that just affected somebody 20 miles down the road. And so putting in those type of programs that actually like help the people. And so really it's like a lot of mine are using the resources that we already have, like a lot of cross connections.
So Misty, her daughter has lived in Columbus, Georgia, on the I believe it's the Army base, and she wants to know Fort Benning. Is that in your area? She wants to know if they're remodeling housing on Fort Benning.
It's the Army post.
Okay, are they remodeling housing? Is there something going on with the housing there?
Well, in Fort Benning, on the Fort Benning post, I don't know if they're remodeling housing because I can't get on there without a visitor's pass. She was saying yes, they are. Okay, they are remodeling housing. I know in Fort Mitchell they've been like doing a lot of, which is Fort Mitchell, Alabama. They've been doing like lots of houses in that area.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, a lot of the soldiers live over in the Fort Mitchell area, but that's Fort Mitchell, Alabama.
Let's see.
A private company is opening to the public. Oh. Now that's something that I was looking at also, is those private partnerships and taxing them instead of taxing the people. Because like we have this big tax issue, and with our tax issue, it actually rises the taxes for everyone else, and it makes them can't get out of poverty. And so some of the things that like I was looking at that have been very successful in other cities, especially when you have like an income mean a certain way, is to charge the private like investors or the luxury developers, like they get charged the taxes if they want to come in, instead of the actual communities and the people, because like we're not keeping up.
So let's get into some rapid fire style, unless Misty is one of our moderators. She could have come up and asked that question. She sure could have. Misty's shy. So let's get into some rapid fire style questions. These will be one word, either or, yes or no. So what's more important, safety or opportunity?
I think, you know what? I'm going to go with opportunity.
Okay. The first program you'd launch on day one.
Oh gosh, that one's so hard to pick. You seen that website? It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
If you had to pick just one.
Yeah. I would actually like, it wouldn't get fully finished on day one, but I would actually go ahead and start the funding for the homelessness initiative that I wrote out and put in place. I'm over them still counting. Like I've never seen somebody like say they need more research ever in my life, but they're like, we need more research, we need more research, we need more research. And these people are just getting more, the homeless number is rising more and more and more. And it's just like, okay, that's it. Put a plan in place. So I would like at least start the actual plan. It would still take the micro units and stuff would have to be built out, but at least they'll know we're working toward this.
Good grief. So, what's one thing City Hall avoids talking about? It's probably that that you were just
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
about.
the mayor literally was like, he was like, well, we don't want to make the city too attractive and they stay.
Oh my God.
Sir.
Why?
Yeah, right.
Isn't there, I mean, there's dignity in just being alive. Human beings are we're worth something. We're important, even if we don't have a house.
Exactly.
Gosh.
Right. He literally, I'm like, yep. So
Ay,
they
ay.
avoid talking about that. They avoid talking about a lot of things. They have meetings outside the meetings, around the meetings, before the meetings, in between the meetings, vote unanimously. Anything you challenge them with, they avoid talking about it. Anything.
Well, because then you'd have to deal with it. You'd have to deal with it, and we don't have. I mean, you already pointed out that competency is lacking there. So avoid. So, what's a neighborhood Columbus should be learning from? Do you think?
Yeah. So I today was over in Carver Heights, and like that's one neighborhood that someone just kept saying, go to Carver Heights, go to Carver Heights. And so I've not gone canvassing in there. That was my first time in that one canvassing. So it will be a tie between the Lake Bottom Historic and Carver Heights. Carver Heights is predominantly Black and has a lot of older voters and older people, but it had a lot of history there. And then Lake Bottom actually had the exact same, but more white women and white families, but each wanted the exact same thing.
Imagine that.
Right. That's what I said too when I be at these stores. I was like, somebody just said that down the street.
Yeah, it's usually it's affordability and affordability around healthcare, but also jobs, income, cost of food, cost of gasoline. That's like been the one thing. The affordability is the one thing that we can all rally around. That no politics are involved whatsoever. We're just all people trying to pay for stuff.
Exactly.
The utility prices are crazy. We're just all people trying to pay for things.
Yep. One of the homes said they just want the street lights to come on so they can go for a walk. They were like, can we get the street lights? They were just they were like, over there, street lights.
Yeah, just the very simple things. And then when you go to the city and you ask them, hey, what's going on with the light bulbs? Oh, we don't, that's not really our, call the power company.
Exactly.
And ask them.
I've never seen so many people do that, like since the kids. I'm like, that's what the kids do. I'm like, the kids. Yeah, you should see me in the debates. Like everybody's like, they're like, your face. I'm like, I know y'all. I don't do a politician face good. Like,
you probably do a lot of this.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So, what's a political red flag for you?
Like, what do you mean? Like
when somebody says something, you immediately think they should not be in this office.
Oh gosh.
They should not be doing this job. Absolutely not.
Oh my gosh, I got one. This one man, oh no, he's not watching this at all because he has his own podcast. He's gonna probably lock up the whole city and like literally throw away the key. Every answer, no matter if you're talking about public health, if we're talking about a data center, we have a gang issue. We have a huge gang issue. And,
come on.
We should just, that gang issue is the problem. And, they need to be off the streets. And I got this military background. I was like, he about to take them all out. I was like, that is code for it. I'm going to take them all out.
Gosh. Yeah. That's, what's that word that I shouldn't be saying on TikTok because they get mad and they think you're bullying people? That's psychotic.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Uh,
like, oh, I was like, y'all need to watch that one right there. I was like, I was like,
that is a red flag
that's
for
a huge red flag. I
sure.
was like, he's about to lock everybody up.
So, what's one moment that has shaped your leadership philosophy?
She said Trump Jr. It is. It is. I'm telling you, you better watch that one. I'd be looking like, that answer was
Misty, you
right.
know what? If you're not going to come up on the panel and ask your questions, stop interrupting my town hall, Misty, with your comments. I
Is
love you,
it?
Misty. I love you, Misty.
Oh, it's her dog's barking.
So what's a moment that shaped your leadership philosophy?
Yeah. Oh wow. Wow. I think I can hit so many, but I think today I had to go to a funeral, and the funeral that I went to was a young man. He was 22, and like it was so sad. Like, well, he had stayed here with me during when his mom was actually going through some stuff. But I had originally
Mm-hmm.
met like the other kids, like the younger kids, for tutoring and working with them. And throughout the years, like I had gone like to the kids like high school to help advocate for him when he was just going through a hard time, when his mom was having a hard time, and just like being with the family, like in the therapy realm and all, just being advocates in like their education, their mental health. And the kid unalived himself. That's how he passed.
Oh
And
wow.
so
Yeah.
that like, I mean, that like tore me up. And but it also made me like today in like the celebration made me really, really think about like how sick our city is. And I was like, this city is not doing well because all that kid did was go away from here and try to go to college and didn't make it.
Oh.
But most of
Oh.
his, some of his product was from like here. The lack of
Right.
mental health resources, the just overspending in other ways, mom's in distress and trying to get herself through. And like, if you don't come from resources and you don't know how to navigate them, you're going to have a hard time. And so like that
Right.
has really been like beside like looking closer at like just my time just with that one family and just like all the other stories I keep hearing as I'm going door to door, they're so similar. I was like, this city is sick. Like,
And you can't just plop like a big pot of money in people's lap, although that would be great. You can't just give people money or, a map into a place and say, here, go here and figure it out. You Sometimes there's an educational barrier, sometimes
yes,
transportation is a
yes,
barrier. Finances obviously can be a barrier. People don't have
yeah,
health insurance. That could be a barrier. You have to actually get people to the things they need to
yep,
help them. And
yep,
then you have to show them how to use the tools that they've been provided.
yes,
And I understand that all takes money, but it also takes people. It also takes people, you know? You got to have maybe a crisis intervention team,
yeah,
and maybe the law enforcement body needs, maybe a few social workers
yeah. They
to help
do.
them answer calls,
I
you
done ran to a
know?
few of those on the doors too. I'm about either gonna put everybody back to work, recruit them back in, like yeah. They're like, I'm a former social worker, and I was like, and we need you. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they do. But that's
Yeah.
just like the team. The diversity is not there. Like whom they actually need on these, like the city hall, and who they actually need, um, as a first point of contact or a phone call person. Like they're inside their doors sick of it, and but not knowing
Right.
how it needs to unify together. And that's what I'm like extremely good at. I'm like, oh, I can put your team together now. So like,
Okay. Okay. I like the t-shirt, by the way.
yeah, this is my team JB. Yep. So
Team JB.
yeah, and it says
I love
standing.
that.
It says standing with us. It says, yeah, it just says standing with us on the bottom. But yeah, I was like,
I like that.
so I got these
So,
interchangeable ones now that say like young voters standing with Jaketra, like stuff like that. And I'm
oh,
trying to get some that says like fathers, like mothers standing with Jaketra. So I was like,
See, you got t-shirt money. You ain't hurting. You
But
ain't hurting.
listen, I'll go
You
on
ain't
there and I
hurting
take a
to,
$4, and I done found out that Michaels do $2.99 shirts. But look, do not dry them because one of my volunteers was like, I dried my shirt. Like, I was like, sir, you're not getting another one. Stretch it out. It's grassroots. Stretch it out. Put your button on.
So let's actually talk about disrupting the cycles of violence. You said that in the first 100 days, that's something you'll focus on through targeted intervention, coordinated accountability, and strategic support for those most at risk of serious harm. What does targeted intervention actually look like on the ground in Columbus, Georgia? And how quickly can residents expect to see measurable reductions in violent crime?
Yeah, I borrowed this one from Mr. Scott in Baltimore, who's working wonders with it. So the targeted looks like first you collect like data of like the actual types of crime in the area that it is in. So
Mm-hmm.
like to make sure that it's like, okay, we're looking at this. And so say if it's like, oh, it's in East Columbus and what's crime over here, it may look like, oh, they've seen high robberies. We've seen like
And we're back. We're back. Dr. Bryant, come back, please. Come back. Oh, there you are.
let's see.
We had
Oh,
some technical difficulties.
okay. All right. I was like, wait, is it me? Oh, can you hear me? Well, now I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I was muted
Okay,
because I
good.
have a teenager walking around in
Oh,
the background. But yes, so we're back.
yep.
Hello.
Yeah, yes.
So
Look,
we
these
were talking about targeted intervention.
Yeah, yep. So like the target intervention, like the way that part works is it's called a I renamed it because we're in Columbus, like as a Columbus strategy, reduction strategy. But basically, you take the data first, like so you look at what's actually happening in this particular area. So we look at East Columbus, and we may just only be in East Columbus, or you can take a district. So we would take like if East Columbus kind of is like, oh, these numbers is like thousands, too many people, then it'll be like you grab a district and you look at what crime is actually happening in that area. And so
Mhm.
the way the actual evidence-based strategy works is once you find out what that strategy is, I mean, excuse me, what the particular crimes that are high in that district, you then go in and you offer the services like instead of like incarceration. And so you only offer incarceration if the people are like, nah, we don't want any of that. Like and it's like, okay, well, there's no like take a plea or nothing like that. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to arrest you because you are the person who is the key top person. So it's done with like kind of a lot of studying. So the people that are going in is the police department, but they're not over policing. It's more like you're doing kind of a thorough look and without casing the place, and
Mhm.
then actually like having almost like conversations with the people that are the targeted people and paying close attention. So one, it eliminates profiling, and then the services that are offered. So if the person is like the drug dealer and it's like, okay, well, you may actually be selling drugs and are 17 and got caught up in selling drugs because your parents over here, like in a 1 bedroom home, and you're trying to raise money for the family, and then the money been so good that you're like y'all trying to get out or something.
Right.
And so offering actually real services and finding out what's actually happening and going on. And so when they did this, they've been actually doing this for about 4 or 5 years in Baltimore. And what was really beautiful about that is each time they targeted an area, they got positive responses and put the right services that the people needed. None of the crime displaced to the other sides while they were targeting that particular area. And
Oh,
so
okay.
they've been able to actually see like literally like I think they're on like 60% reduction over a whole city in crime, and homicides has dropped drastically, and the recidivism is at like I think it's last time when I looked it was like 90% or 98%, like there's no recidivism of people repeating offenders. So
Yeah.
like once they're out they're just like see ya, we about to go to the program. And so they're actually like seeing like so it became a layered program. So it starts with that, and then you also then begin to build in community relationships with the police. So police don't always go in with their uniforms and attacking. It's more so let's like free up the police for emergency crimes and actually put them into the neighborhoods to maybe be present in the neighborhood. Like come to a parade on your bicycle and you dress your bicycle up. Like you like be present, be human and build take that so the wall can come down. So if there
Right.
is some type of emergency, then they're calling you for that. But if there is something that's like suspicious, the neighborhood feels safe enough that they can actually like be supported.
So you want, and I think that's a good idea, taking it from a punitive justice system to I think that's restorative justice.
Yeah, it's restorative.
Yeah. That's actually
Hmm.
pretty novel in the United States. I mean, it shouldn't be, but it is. It's pretty
Yeah,
novel because
yeah,
the first thing they want to do when they, arrest somebody, put them in jail.
yeah.
And they want
I'm
to
like,
arrest
they
as
may
many
need
people as
services.
possible. They will change the
Right.
laws just so they can arrest more people.
Yeah, and the price is going up per dollar.
Yeah.
It's actually I looked at those numbers too. The price is going up. Like it used to be about $40 a day. It's about like for prisoners over here, I think they're on like a $90 a day, and then like the jail is about 60 some dollars per day, and then they like it's more well, we know it's ICE is more.
Yeah.
People like all those things is more, and so people are literally like the outside. Only one side is getting rich because they making the people in jail work for
Right.
free, and then they still can't pay your restitution when you get out. Still can't pay your probation officer when you get out, and you come back in because now you just broke still, and so it's just like a trap. And so I don't know why. That's why I was like competency or compassion, but something missing.
Well, you
So
know what, Dr. Jaketra, if you wouldn't commit crime, then you wouldn't have anything to worry about. Yeah.
I know that's the line right there. I know they say all the time, just like, look, I don't have political poker face, so I got to be like, let me get out of that group.
They-
We don't have political poker face. Yeah.
So you've mentioned well, do you anticipate resistance from law enforcement on that front?
Oh yeah,
And how
yeah.
will how will you address it?
Oh yeah, they already don't care for me. It's only one side.
Oh,
Yeah, there's only one side. One side likes me. Like and that's another. We're
are
very
they
split up
painting
here.
you as being soft on crime?
They are like, listen, girl, you too nosy. You getting a little too close to what's actually happening. And I'm like, stop buying
Mm.
these new trucks. Like one of our departments, like literally, I don't know why they feel like they need a new Ford and need body cameras and need everything every year. And I'm like, no.
Drones. They need drones.
Yep, they need drones. They need all of that all the time. Just need the newest vehicles every year. I was like, I need to see the report on what happened because I just paid mine off and we still driving it. And so
I know
and
that's
so
right.
wife's like, So I'm trying to figure out why are you getting a new one every time the year comes up? And so
Hmm.
yeah, and so that department don't really care for me over there because I'd be like in their business. I don't ask for mental health open records as to how they're running their mental health in their jail, like who's the actual service providers that you go because they've like actually was in the Department of Justice was like investigating them since 1994, and they finally came off
Yeah.
of it in 2019. Not because
Yeah.
they want to, but when you read the fine print, it's just they just asked them, "Can you just back off?"
And you
So you
just
didn't
got,
fix
yeah.
anything. You didn't fix
Georgia
anything.
has some of the worst prisons in the United
It
States.
does. It
Yeah.
does. So you got to really watch them, and I have.
And
So
you know
like,
what? And people could get upset that you're in their business, but when
yeah,
something goes wrong in the city, the first person they blame the police chief and the mayor.
exactly.
Sometimes they blame the city council, but they don't even really know who that is. But they definitely know the person at the top. That's who's responsible.
Yeah, yeah, right. So if
So you
somebody's
need
coming
to
in,
know. You need to know what's going
exactly,
on. You need to know what's happening with the money and why they're buying this and buying that. And then, you have to be cognizant of spending your own money.
exactly.
Why did she buy a new chair? Why did she get new drapes in her office? And we're
Mhm.
eating noodles for dinner.
Exactly. And I told them that's what we had these forums that they invite us to. I was invited to one that was the Optimist Club, and they basically like govern, they don't govern anything. They're like a board that maybe have like a couple of school people on there, and they also have like they do like musical stuff, and they invited us to a forum, but it was a luncheon and everybody's was separate. So like mine wasn't, no one's is with the other people. And so I happened to like, I don't ever know some of the people who are on the board. I think this one didn't show, but one of the guy in there happens to be the general manager or one of the owners of like our new baseball like field team. And so I often talk about we didn't need to spend that $50 million on that baseball team and well, all that baseball stuff with all the stuff going on. So when I didn't know this person gonna be in there, but it doesn't matter because I'll actually say the same.
You say it to
I
his
won't back.
face.
Yeah, I'll say what needs to be said. And so like, so I think at the end he was just like, oh, and I put it in such a way, I let them know, I said, you can have that baseball field. I was like, you probably heard me talk about it online. And I said, and I'm not even saying anything about your baseball field. I was like, but I said, just know if you continue to build things like that, the other sides of town that are watching that, you're going to continue to have high crime
Yeah.
because they're looking at why not them.
Yep.
And I was like,
They're
and
gonna
if
feel
you
worthless.
haven't poured,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, if you haven't poured out one resource over there, like psychological services, where are they getting the emotional like regulation from to even balance that or to recognize that, to call y'all out to do anything? I was like, if you haven't poured more literacy finances over there, why would that get better? And I was like, so you keep building, keep building. And I was like, you're gonna keep having robbery and you're gonna keep having deaths and you're gonna keep having upset people. And I was like, or you can level this out.
I personally think it's the duty of the republic to invest in the populace, invest in
Yeah,
their health, their education, their welfare, their safety. Without that, I mean, who's going to go to the baseball games? You're going to have an empty stadium.
exactly.
Who's going to work the jobs at the stadium? Who's going
Exactly.
to, you can have the people at the top who own the team, but who's coming to your games? Who's working at your games?
Exactly.
Who, the people who have to, I don't know, the police officers directing traffic, the people who have to park the cars,
Exactly. All these micro positions that are
it's
needed. The
it's
whole ecosystem that's
yeah.
needed.
Well, and
That
one of the
whole
things
ecosystem.
my area is dealing with, I'm right next door, knocking on the city of Cleveland. One of the things they deal with is the food desert issues in most, if not all, of their neighborhoods. Is this something that you're faced with in Columbus, Georgia?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
On the side of town that they're not overdeveloping, of course. Because
Oh,
the other side of town, they done got a new grocery store that came up. It didn't take 8 years. It may have taken 8 months, but it didn't take 8 years. They got a new grocery store. Got a
wow.
whole Green Island grocery store. Yep, they still over
Well,
here. They got Marks, bunch of Marks, and they got a bunch of fried chicken, and they got a
mm,
bunch of wing spots and Taco Bells and stuff like that. That's what they got over there.
a lot of
And so
convenience food.
Yes.
Yeah.
All it's very convenient. All that on the one that ain't been fixed in 8 years and the fix it. So we got all
Oh,
that.
you don't need fresh produce.
You don't. Mm-mm.
You don't need that. No.
No, you don't need that.
Just a
No, it's
deep
gonna take you out.
fried lettuce.
Yeah, you need fast, quick hurry, get health issues.
Well,
At the
because you're
same time,
working
they're
three
trying to take
jobs. You don't have time to cook. You're working three jobs.
exactly, yeah. And then at the same time, they're trying to take your Medicaid and your stuff away on the state level. You are a second away from being just erased out of here or a bill out of here because that's
So
what
how do
they'll
you
do on that state
propose?
level.
What do you propose to do about that? Are you
Yeah, so I actually like want community gardens in every side of town. So like I am a huge person. Like we live in an area that's so agriculturally like just sound, but like they just keep. We are not New York. This is Columbus, Georgia. Because be Columbus, Georgia. They just want us to be another city so bad. And I'm just like, be Columbus, Georgia. You have to, I don't know what classes they took, but they need to stop doing that too. We're moving classes out. And mayor has no call in that, but
they need to be
it would have helped
grounded
if
in
they took,
reality
yeah, it would have helped if they took geography or something, some one of those courses.
or grounded in
And economics.
geography?
One of those courses would help. Because I'm like, we live in an agriculture base. We live in a greenery area. You know how like you can live on certain sides of town where the sun is coming in certain ways, all this grass. So every side needs to have community gardens. And then I also like I'm a part of the West Georgia Farmers like co-op. And so I once did a training in Minnesota and fell in love with shared co-ops where the community actually owns share and
Right.
owns like the grocery stores. And so I would love to see some grocery stores actually that are shared co-op. The community owns it. They are
Mhm.
profiting from it. The people that live there and some fresh produce from farming that is actually in every side of town.
Every
And
side
so
of town.
and greenhouses for the schools and the kids because I do believe that we need our kids like involved and like not to load them with any kind of medicine, but just the health education of our environment and natural resources and that could be done through like that could partner with the schools and actually implement cultural base into the school because like sharecropping that's still culture based and so like you don't have to call it sharecropping but you totally can raise up farmers and educate them about like plant life from hands on. We have a lot of creative kids that need more hands on encounters, so
Right.
just building a greenhouse and helping them manage it is awesome.
And you got to get to this before it's too late, right? Before it's so depressed that there's no nonprofit, no government system, nothing that could help it.
Right.
And it starts, but it starts with the people. You got to prop up the
Mm-hmm.
people first. You really do. You really
Mm-hmm.
do. And look at Misty. Misty's talking about
The country
country's
barbecue.
barbecue.
I don't know how to make barbecue. I may be from the South, but I was always a little different.
You know who has the best barbecue in Columbus, Georgia?
That place that she's talking about, Country's Barbecue, they get a lot of business, and
Oh, do
so
they?
like there's one on Macon Road, and I went to that one, and so like so the Columbia, I went to the one in Macon Road, and that they did have a really good sandwich, but their tea is definitely teaing.
So in
Like
the last few minutes that we have like 10 minutes. If elected or when elected mayor, what is the first
win.
major when? Yes, when. I corrected myself. I did. I did. When elected mayor, what is the first major issue you would want to tackle? And how would your leadership style ensure voices of everyday residents are heard?
Yeah. So my whole platform is all about the people. I literally have this cute little saying. So I'll answer the last part because I think it makes a big difference in it. I have this whole saying. I'll come to somebody's neighborhood and I go, "Hey, I know y'all seen me like on my little like social media." And I was like, I have this whole saying and no neighborhood left behind, no door unlocked. And then so they'd be like, I like that. And so that's my whole philosophy. And so I really mean that. And so throughout my whole time campaigning, I bring everybody with me. So a
Mhm.
person could be disabled, and they are like, I can't do much. I was like, oh, you really can. I can have you text the houses that I wasn't able to get to. And or somebody's like, but from anything. I'm people they like for people who this is their first time voting too. You heard me say I got the kids with me, like the younger like generation. I've helped them get involved in civics engagement. I went over to the university and like I have interns, like so, and they can learn like just civic engagement because I'm gonna pass this torch. And so I've been like with the young voices, one getting them involved in, as well as our seniors and disabled, and just getting people back the hope and just letting them know that I need their voice. There was this one guy on the corner earlier this week, and I don't know what they was doing in that corner, but I had a couple of ideas. I had a couple of ideas, but I was like, thanks for talking to me. And I was telling him, I was like, you know what? I even need your voice. And I told him, I was like, because he was somebody who had been in the city for a while and felt like it was very disconnected from voting. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, well, the fact that like you see what's going on here. And I was like, you're even somebody that needs to be a part of a board where you can give some input as to like, how would you want your neighborhood to be? And so like, that's been something I've been talking to like people along the way about. It's just that like, an elder is needed, a youth is needed, a mom is needed, a dad is needed, a mental health counselor, like saying a social worker is needed, an artist is needed, like a Latino is needed, like literally like everybody is needed on these like multi boards in order to help this like city run properly. And so with us, that's something I want to revamp in because our city council and our mayor actually is appointing our boards as helping and govern our city. And they got about 12 to 15 boards that are not diverse at all. So like, even though I would only get a say in like 2 people per board, I think I can pretty much like help navigate the other people. Like, all the seats are flipping except for like 3 people, that there's not their time up, but all the rest of the 9, well, let's see, about 6, all the 6 of them, they're up. And so that's a lot of seats that's about to flip in city council, which is a positive thing. And so I think like once I show them like how like unified this actually can look, if you just like appoint your person, because they have to appoint, they nominate a person, appoint them based on diversity, appoint them based on inclusion, and appoint them based on that, not just your friends, but it needs to have some
Look
method
at you
to it.
using them words: diversity, equity, inclusion. Oh,
I know.
You're one of those people. You're one of those woke people. You're going to be the woke mayor of Georgia.
I know, the different one. They tried to have me for a long time. People be like, "How long you been campaigning?" I was like, "Since September." They're like, "Wait, why are we just not seeing you?" I said, "You talk to your news folks." I was like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The media plays a big role in
they did not like
promoting.
me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, they'll either really love the incumbent or they'll just pick one of the competitors, and that person is the one they'll focus on. This is the one we want to highlight. Just this one right here. We don't care about nobody else.
Yep.
Especially if they even a whiff of controversy. We don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah. They
Like they decide who they want
They
to
just now
win.
start calling me doctor. And now I don't look, I had to say something one time. I haven't had to say anything on my own since. Somebody can leave doctor off of an article. Don't you mean Dr.Jaketra Bryant? I'm like, okay, yeah. So like they have gotten them. People be like coming back on email, sorry, Dr. Jaketra Bryant. Because they literally they had refused to call me doctor. And they were like, we only do this for medical, and they made me leave it off the ballot. And I was like, in Georgia, you actually can put on the ballot, but it was like up to the discretion of the people who are local. So that was them doing that too.
Oh,
And
right,
so they
because
had
anybody can get a
doctor.
PhD, right? Anybody. can.
Exactly. I was like, it says earn. And even doctors were coming on there saying, no, we count, this is equal. This is pretty
Yeah.
equal. So why aren't you calling her doctor? I mean, they would leave off every news station, news article, every time they say my name, just saying it wrong and leaving it off. Yeah.
Oh, that is purposeful. They're doing that on purpose.
On purpose. The whole degree in leadership. This is only about leading the city.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Well, because it
all.
doesn't matter to them. It's not important to them. A PhD isn't important to so many people, right? We're
Yeah.
overeducated anyways. Too many educated Black women in this country. It's too many. We need to get back to the time where you could just walk out of high school and become president.
Something. I told them, I said they do that one more time. I'm gonna like give them a 1-800 number to Moella. Moella, where how you pronounce her name? Because I was like, because I still owe lots of student loans. So
Oh
since we're
God.
dismissing something, go ahead and tell them because
Exactly.
they got a lot. They got all the costs that I have that I've accumulated throughout all these years. So go ahead and tell them.
Oh
Tell everybody.
gosh. It's an uphill battle, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have
No,
to be.
I'm like, get out of the way. I say that all the time. I'm like, out of the
That's
way.
right. Get out of my way.
Yeah, this is
Move.
weird. Get out of the way. I'm like, I'm trying to help the city move. Like, it's the
Right.
weirdest thing.
Oh
But yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. So that's one of the first things. It's like literally just like getting like the diversity needs to be there. Like if the diversity is in there and they're actually appointing the correct people, we have boards like tax assessor, we have public safety. We have boards like animal control, like things like that is actually govern the city, like that they've complained about. And I'm like, but it's not diverse. It's not diverse at all. I don't know where they found the people at. But
So, looking ahead 5 to 10 years, what is your long-term vision for your city, and how do you hope residents will be able to look back on your service and say their lives and communities were improved because you were their mayor?
one of the things that I've had to kind of like breathe into this, like when because I'm the first Black woman like that's on the ballot that's even put her that
Wow,
name made it to the ballot. Yeah, yeah.
that is
I don't know if
awesome.
they ran those people off or what, but I'm the first Black woman, and I've had to breathe into that moment because like not that long ago, somebody asked me, "Can I write a recommendation for their niece who is in middle school who wants to one day run?" And so like I've literally like seen like mom say, "What? You're gonna be mayor?" And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And so like it's been these moments. I'm just like, thank you. I needed that push. Let me keep going because he's supposed to get on my nerves today. But thank you. And like it's like that. I want people to know. Like I wrote it in one of the articles. Well, when I interviewed in one of the articles, and I was like, I'm really running for the people. Like that's other people's cliche, but I'm really running for the people. I was like, because I'm not going to be this first Black woman. And I was like, there's a Latina needs to come behind me, a Muslim woman needs to come behind me, Hispanic male, like, every, like a person who didn't, like a single mom, all of it, like come behind, keep coming and keep seeing yourself as a possibility to keep making change and seeing.
and there's a healing you pointed out, obviously, that needs to happen in your city. And I feel like you have um, the right tools to make that happen. And don't let
Mhm.
anybody tell you that competency doesn't matter and compassion doesn't matter and empathy doesn't matter. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. I mean, and good character matters too. Good
Yeah,
character, right?
yeah.
You
Not
don't
the
need
ones who
somebody yelling
lock
and
their
screaming at you all the time. You need somebody
No,
actually
you
listening.
don't. So the other guy's like, I did all this in the military, so we don't need that. We don't need that right now. I was like, I've worked with some of them. That's PTSD. That's not that. That's
That's
not what that is. That's not that. That's not that.
Well, Dr. Bryant, thank you for joining us. We have reached the end of our program. I can't believe it. There was still, I mean, honestly, there was still so much we could have talked about, so many things, but I think people got a very good idea of the type of candidate you are, what your skill set is, and what you can bring to the city. This will be posted on YouTube later, so if you want to take it and remix it and put it on your social medias, you can do that because I think you had some really good answers to a few questions. Well, all of them, but some stood out, is what I'm saying. There are
Yeah.
some that stood out that you can highlight. You definitely stand
Oh,
out
thank you.
from the field. Aw, Misty.
Appreciate it.
And we just appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being here, coming here for the people in the audience. Thank you for being here.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thanks for having me. Yeah. I
uh,
always like the like intimate like one-on-ones or intimate groups and stuff. I'm
yeah.
always when I get ready to go to like a forum, I tell them I'm so excited y'all asked me, and they're like, what? I'm like, it's these like intimate ones and stuff like that. And I'm like, we're like, it's a whole like a community. I think it's that whole community thing coming back until that clicks in. I'm just like, y'all
And
are
you want
here.
people to
Okay.
talk to you like you're just, just like a real person they met, at a coffee shop or something, and they're trying to
Yes.
get to know you better, trying to understand you. Why should I
Hmm.
vote for you? And without the pretense, without all the pageantry and all that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we appreciate
Yeah.
you tagging along on our town hall ride
Thank
for this
you.
evening. We're taking a short break, y'all, and we're not going to be back until Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Yeah, we're taking a short break. I hear there's a holiday. Some people have a holiday coming up. So if that's you, I hope you all enjoy the time with your family. We'll actually be back next Tuesday, April 7th, 2026, at 5 p.m. with James Marsh Holshin. I believe that's how it's pronounced, candidate for Colorado State House District 33, followed at 7 o'clock p.m. by Georgia District 117 State Rep candidate Vincent Williams.
Oh, that's my like emerged sister's like her friend.
Oh, okay. Well, then
That's
you'll have to
cool.
stop by and grill him.
Yeah.
Grill him.
Yep.
So
She's
that's
always posting him.
that's next week, next Tuesday, starting at 5 o'clock p.m. Also, we're still soliciting for more help. We want to schedule more candidates to do this. We usually do 5, 6 candidates a week, but we need more people to do that. We need more hands on. So if you want to do that, send us a DM. Let us know if you're interested in becoming a moderator. That's what I do. The talking, all of the talking and the laughing and the giggling. Send us a DM. Also, Dr. Bryant, you can join our Discord. Send your followers over to our Discord too. We talk about politics and candidates and runs for office and sharing resources, reminding people to get to the polls. When is your primary? When is your primary?
May
It's in May, right?
19th.
May
May
19th.
19th. But the polls are going
Okay.
to open up April 27th.
Okay, so early voting starts April 27th. The primary is May 19th. Remember, when you go to the polls, Columbus, Georgia, you see this lady right here, Dr.Jaketra Bryant? I mean, I am in Ohio, so I can't tell you who to vote for, but I just talked to her, and she's very smart, bright, compassionate. She's competent. She's a competent leader. Please, we need people like her. We need her. We need her in all the cities. If we could multiply her and put her everywhere, we would. So, but yes, the link is in our bio. Tell your people to come over. You come over, join us, and good luck. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Good luck.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
Good luck. And to everyone, have a great, if you have a holiday, have a good holiday with your family. Enjoy some food and some Easter eggs. I don't know, some chocolate. Eat a lot of chocolate. Please. Please. And have a good night. We'll see you back here on Tuesday, April 7th. Good night, everyone. Bye, Dr.
Bye. Thanks for
Brian.
having me.